So we looked at one of the most iconic Doom megawads from the classic era with Alien Vendetta, and now we're switching gears to talk about Eviternity. Alien Vendetta Part 2 will come in the next few days, but for right now, let's discuss one of the most talked about megawads going today. Eviternity already got into my good books when I found out that the megawad is split up into 6 chapters instead of having 32 consecutive levels. Of course you can play that way if you want, but I'm glad that there is a break in between for players. This gives the mappers an opportunity as well to make completely different types of levels, but also retain some cohesion. One of my fundamental issues with Doom 2 is how it ditched the episodic structure of the first game, but Eviternity brings it back. Each chapter is 5 levels, which makes the WAD palatable for people who might not have the most time on their hands. You can pick up and play Eviternity at your pace, which is always a good thing. Eviternity also comes packaged with a unique texture pack, and this WAD is basically the culmination of the past 25 years of Doom mapping, all rolled into one project. I'll be taking a look at 1 chapter per video, so in total there will be 6 videos on Eviternity, and perhaps a final review of it all. Along with the texture pack it adds, Eviternity features new monsters and exclusive music tracks, which probably made a lot of players excited upon release. The final version of the megawad was released on the 10th of February last year, in which that date is also my birthday, but how does Eviternity stack up roughly 1 year later? Map 1 opens with a rainy night sky and some fantastic looking textures. I really like the medieval presentation going on in this megawad, and you also might have noticed that the pistol speed is increased. This is such a good quality of life update, and it helps with killing the pinkies and imps more effectively. Although Eviternity has a medieval look, it still retains Doom's demonic imagery. There are upside down crosses and pentagrams scattered about the place, and I love how this first level looks. I'm not entirely sure why, but I get Ozzy Osbourne album cover vibes from these opening maps. Speaking of music, the MIDI selection for map 1 sets the tone perfectly. This track is more low-key than your standard Doom metal music, and it captures what this level is supposed to be: Inauguration. Map 2 is set on a beach cove, and the megawad starts throwing some tougher enemies and traps your way. Hell Knights and Cacodemons are introduced in this level, as well as the chain gun, and while this map doesn't leave as much of an impression on me compared to the first level, map 2 gets the job done. I like how the weather appears to be cleared up a little along the beach, but you are still presented with some atmospheric areas once you enter the caves. As the level progresses, the caves start to open up more and more with monsters inside, and this was a clever way to throw some traps in. My least favourite level in the chapter is probably map 3. This isn't a terrible level by any stretch, and I really like how connected all of the locations are, but nothing sticks out in particular. I do enjoy the Hell Knight closet after you pick up the plasma gun, the barrage of revenants that come after you when you flick one of the switches, etc. But I feel like some of the atmosphere of the previous 2 maps is kinda missing. Again, map 3 isn't a letdown by any stretch, but I just preferred maps 1 and 2. After talking about my least favourite level in the chapter, I'm now going to discuss the best level that chapter 1 has to offer. Map 4 is an absolute gem of a level, and really opens things up for the player. I love how you can explore the outside of the castle along with the inside of it as much as you want, and the detail on display is fucking wonderful. The green grass and trees contrast heavily with the dark castle interior, and this is one of the best looking levels in the game so far. I know that we're only 4 maps in, but still, this level looks excellent. The goal of map 4 is simple: you have to obtain all 3 keys to get to the exit. This requires you to explore the castle library and throne room, as well as the outside area of the castle. Everything about the stage feels so well crafted, and the only critique I have about map 4 is how the incidental combat encounters aren't too memorable. The traps on the other hand are brilliant, with the highlight being the throne room ambush that completely caught me off guard. I was expecting some sort of ambush after I collected the yellow key, but no, it happened right before I was about to grab it. I like the subversion of expectations, and map 4 is definitely the standout level of this chapter. I really do want to go back to this map once I'm done with Eviternity, and I can't recommend map 4 enough. The Arachnotron gets introduced around this time, and instead of shooting plasma out of its cannon, they now shoot projectile bullets, which seems like a pointless alteration, but that's either here nor there. I mean, at least the bullets look awesome when they are being shot out of the Arachnotron, and that they are projectile based instead of being fucking hit scanning like the Spider Mastermind. Map 5 is a pretty basic final level with just hordes of demons coming after the player, but I'm still content with it. While I don't think it's the most inventive level in the world, it gets the job done and gives you a decent challenge. This map does introduce the Nightmare Pinky, and this guy is faster and tougher than the regular Pinky. I really like his Green Hulk design, and similar to map 5 in general, he doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything, but he's a good inclusion to the roster. As you kill all of the demons in the level, you get transported to another location, and that is the end of Eviternity Chapter 1. I thought this chapter was pretty damn good, and I assume that the later chapters will change up the art style and genre drastically. Chapter 1 was more gothic and medieval, and perhaps the following chapters will be more space themed or something. That's what I hope for anyway, but regardless, Chapter 1 was great. As I said, I think the weakest map is a toss-up between map 3 and map 5, but the latter gets excused more by me because it was technically just a boss level with a bunch of monsters thrown into one room. That being said, all of the maps were very consistent in quality, with map 4 being the highlight for me. I think what impresses me the most about map 4 is the variety of moods it can conjure up. It can be somewhat peaceful, besides all the demon killing with the bright green outdoor area, but it can also be oppressive and dark with the castle throne room trap. Eviternity already feels like a quality level set, and we're only 5 maps in. I'm so glad that Eviternity isn't one of these slow burn megawads that take a long time to build momentum and actually get good. The quality is high from the get-go, and that is appreciated by me. The new textures look fantastic as well, and they are complemented by the excellent music choice. This megawad nails the atmosphere and the visuals, but I feel like it's only doing a good job so far on the gameplay fronts. While there are some well designed and interesting traps and combat encounters, nothing has jumped out at me as being exceptional just yet. I'm sure that there will be fantastic combat areas later on, and that these early maps are just trying to set the stage, but that's my only concern so far. To be fair, Eviternity was released with a new texture pack, so I'm almost positive that they are trying to leave a solid first impression when it comes to the visuals, and I gotta cut it some slacker bits. What do you think about Eviternity? And without going into too many details, just because I don't want to get spoiled, what is your favourite chapter? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, as I would love to hear what you guys have to say, and I thank you for watching.